Well, if we have to look at
Oh,
Bangui,
well.
what is going on? What is going on in Bangui is not so different from what is going on in Bamenda. First, they are neighboring communities. And so why is this going on there? Why are people being shot left and right? Why in Bangui, as I said earlier, like in Bamenda, you have so many military camps, you have so many police stations, you have so many B stations over there. Why are these people doing going through all this? The responsibility for security of the people lies essentially on the government, not on us. It is the government to ensure security for those people. Because until they leave our land, it is still their responsibility to guarantee security. Until the colonial master left Boya on the 30th of June, it was their responsibility to maintain law and order to bring criminals to justice. If they are not doing it, something is wrong. But as far as Mbengwe is concerned, we know that Mbengwe is the capital of Momo. We know what Momo has gone through in this struggle. Not in the hands of the military, mostly not in the hands of the military. Momo has gone through pain. They've gone through all difficulties in the hands of the ADF, directly and indirectly. So what is going on there cannot be disassociated from the activities of the ADF. Because the ADF, who have already said, are the representatives. In fact, they are the agents of the government. Where the government is not there, where the police are not there, they act as their security agents. They work for them. That's why they would kidnap Madame Mundi from Bamida and take her to somewhere in Momo. And they were to fly a military plane to go and bring them back to Bamenda. So we cannot exculpate the ADF from what is going on in Bamenda in Bangui. The question now is, what do the people do? What do the victims do? In the face of generalized insecurity, where nobody will be held accountable officially, you, the individual living there, you have to be very, very cautious of yourself. You have to be very, very careful. Take your own security into your own hands by being careful. Don't trust anything you see there. Worst of all, you know those who work with you, Ayaba, they are their own sons and daughters living right there. They have girlfriends there. They rear cows and the whole of that area. They are able to block roads. You know them. So, your security is in your hands. What we can do from outside is only to give you advice. And in addition to advice, we can empower you by drafting for your own people to self-secure. And so, what is going on in Bamenda is not different from what is going on in Bamenda in Bangui. And maybe it's not even different from what is going on in any other town. Where you find us insecurity, it calls on the citizens who are themselves just victims to be more alert, to know who is their friend and who is their enemy, to take action before they are killed. I see that man lying on a stretcher there. He looks already dead for no fault of his. So why should we go through all this? Just for example, why are they killing people in Bamenda? Why are they killing people in Bangui? Just because the people they call Anglophones were able to simply say, let us go back to federation. Let us revisit the so-called foundation for the unity in 1961. Just for saying that, you've created a climate of insecurity where people are dying. That man dying for nothing. What is his crime for being shot? What was the crime for what we said? It's just a reminder that all right-thinking people say, look, this is not what we signed up to. If we must die just for talking, we better die by walking away.
All right,
Over
so
to you.
team, it is very sad to see that it is the victims that are caused, the civilian populations that are caught in this crossfire. Now, looking at another angle of this particular situation, there's been report prior to this incident of the unprofessional colonial La Republic military selling arms illegally to regular people. And looking at the situation, the economic situation of the Cameroons under Paul Bier's rule for over 40 years, it's quite a tragedy. And of course, it forces people into doing terrible things to make ends meet, looking at how poor the economy is at this moment. And now these colonial forces selling these arms to just about anybody and having bandits increasing on the rise in Mbengwi. Would you say that as much has contributed to this sad situation? Because the people have been suspecting that this is probably why the colonial forces are not even interested in coming around. Bamenda is heavily militarized, so for situations like this, and yet they did not even show any form of concern or make any statements about it. And people are starting to suspect probably they're most likely behind this, looking at the records of illegal activities with firearms. What would you say about this, Barrister T?
Well, I think that you see the case of Cameroon and the security apparatus is so special in the world. First, they are poorly paid. Secondly, they don't even know what they are doing. Take it from me. When you go to Mbengwi, to Bamda, to anywhere, the sing song you hear is B. The B comes and here left and right. What is B? Brigade Intervention Rapid. That is Rapid Intervention Unit. The B was created not to come and make security in Bengui or Bamenda or Buya. The B was created as a rapid intervention force to defend the presidency. So you come and put them somewhere in Bengui, in Batibo, in Mamfe, in Kemba, and say, "Abi, you come there." That is not their specialty. They cannot go into the village crowd. That's not what they are trained for. That's why they themselves they fall like flies in the face of any any confrontation with Amba fighter with our fighters. They fall like flies. And so, in addition to not being properly paid, in addition to lack of total governance, there is the economic thing. People kill, they generalize crime to make money, condoned and encouraged by the government. Because the generals who are in Bamenda, they are generals there. General Buba, General this and that. They don't go to the war front. They have a big budget. I know I come from the BLM. When the people were there, what were they doing? They were so poorly paid, they had nothing to eat. That they went around stealing people's plantains, stealing goats. They ate all the goats that were found down and chickens that they stole. That is that's the worst of an organized army. Even gangsters in town don't go around eating all the chickens they can find. And so that is where we find ourselves. Who have who were so unfortunate ever to be associated with this type of government. Bia's 40-year regime might have contributed but to it. But what did Hayijo's 20, 25 years do? He did nothing. All what they know is to bully you, to kill you, to shoot you, to lock you up, if need be, to extort money from you. And that's just all. And so they are not up to the task. They have been overtaken, they're overwhelmed. They can't manage the situation anywhere. Otherwise, what would they explain? The French ambassador to Yaoundé is a military guy. He's supposed to know all the military tactics. He was in Bamenda a few weeks ago, a few months ago. I gave a public speech about that with the peace plan, telling them that he will come to encourage the centralization of what? If the French are able to do decentralization in the whole Northwest region, as they call it, where is their military might? Why are they not bringing security as French people to Bengui to secure the population that they claim belongs to them? I mean, that is France.
All right. Yeah. But
Over to
Barrister
you.
Mbeseha, yes, I want to ask you, two questions that are actually troubling my mind at this moment. Two questions, they go together. Now, um, if you would agree with me, you know that the Momo Mazen axis has been a hub for the area for a long time now. The first question is, what do you think could be facilitating this momentum for the ADF? Secondly, is the Ambazonian government can do in collaboration with the people, to limit these violence going on there.
Well, to your first question is this. I think, this is my opinion, The ADF has come to the end of its own journey. For the past 7 years, they deceived Ambazonians, collected money from them left and right, and claimed that they were fighting for the liberation of Ambazonia. It has turned out that they were not fighting, they have not fought for the liberation of Ambazonia. So, at least the majority of Ambazonians now agree that whatever you call the ADF, they are a satellite of the government. You don't need to be reminded that the ADF, their strongest show of force now is in Bengui, in Momo Division, and Mezam. But from the beginning of this thing in 2016, they claimed to be in the southwest, also in the southern zone. They were active, they claimed to be in Kumba. But it turned out that in Kumba, what they were doing was guiding the farms of Chief Mokwete. They have been rotted out of there. You cannot hear about any ADF there anymore. So, as far as ADF is concerned, they have come to the end of their journey because at least the majority of people have realized that they are not for the people. The people in Bamanda, where Choyaba claims to come from these burnings of taxes, the tax collection from people, call it the war tax or whatever you call it, must have opened the eyes of the people to know that there is the end of ADF. And like any other dying horse, they have to give their last kicks. If we rot them out of Bamenda right now, I'm sure that will be the end of it. Absolutely the end of it. And so that is to your first question. What was the second question again? It has not on my memory.
What can the Amazonian government do?
Well, the only thing the Ambazonian government can do, and we're doing is we have successfully, through this education, educated our people to know who stands for what. That people know that if a volunteer Oyaba or the ADF, anything associated to it, you are digging your own grave. And so that's what we've done. Secondly, we have been trying to empower the people through the draft, raising whatever thing we can find as money and giving it to them, and giving them private advice and security strategies on how to confront the enemy within the house. Because two of your people are enemies within the house. They don't wear uniforms. That's why I said they come to a community, they live with you, with your parents, they will live with your own mothers. And then they turn around, extort money from them. They turn around, take their children to a firing squad publicly in the market square and kill them. And so that is the role of the Ambazonian government to educate the people, to empower those who are able, those who are trusted to do it. As far as Momo is concerned, I'm sure we have a vibrant community there. We have vibrant people there, educated people within this government who will do something to stop it. It might take time because it takes some time to remove a jigger. And when you remove a jigger from your food, it causes pain. But it's a question of time, and that thing is over. I think we're on the right track. We're giving them the proper education. The right strategies are being worked out. The ADF and the allies, the satellite troops, it's a question of time, and they get out of there. They are only in Bamenda. That's the place we hear them now in Meza, and partly sometimes in Momo. But remember that we have 13 counties in the whole of Ambazonia. So that's how far we can go. That's how far we're doing it. As we improve on our skills, on our intelligence, we shall overcome. Over to you.
Definitely. We'll definitely overcome.